Good afternoon to everyone. I need to speak in English, so I hope everybody will understand me, because my English is not that good, but you will see. My name is Ana, and I'm an assistant professor at Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Computing here in Zagreb, and also I'm a president of Croatian Robotic Association. Today I will talk to you about transforming robots into educational tools, which is the name of my project, scientific project that is founded by Croatian Science Foundation. And my PhD was in the field of signal and image processing, and my hobby was educating kids in photography, movie making, robotics, informatics. So I decided why I cannot combine those two, merge those two things. So my project was born where I want to merge image and signal processing and robots and children. So today I will tell you more about the project and my work. And this will be only a small part of my work, because the project lasts for 5 years and we will work a lot of different things during that period. So at the beginning I need to define what the robot is and what the educational robotics is. Robot is a mechanism, so it is a machine that is programmable in 2 or more axes with degree of autonomy, moving within its environment to perform intended task. Autonomy is ability to perform intended task based on current state and sensing without human intervention. That means that if you have robotic arm, then robot needs to think itself what to do and how hard something to squeeze. Let's say if you have a glass, then robot needs to know how much it must squeeze that glass to pick it up. Or if you have a sponge, then robot could squeeze it more than glass. The robot should decide that, not the human who is next to the robot. Robots can be grouped based on their locomotion. So we have stationary robots, like robotics arms. We have wheeled robots, like autonomous cars or something like that. We have legged robots, humanoid robots, hexapods, and we have some strange creatures like swimming robots, snakes, or something else. We can divide robots by application, and historically we have only 2 kinds of robots. We have industrial robots and we have service robots. But today, based on the IEEE classification, we have 15 types of robots, and here are all of them. Probably industrial robots here. Industrial robots are probably the most used, especially in the car industry. For me, the scariest robots are probably military robots, and the most interesting robots, at least for me, are educational robots, and they are here. Just a second to check. I always have my pointer with me. Here. So educational robots are here at the edge. Educational robots can be used as toys, especially for smaller children. They can be used as a tool for education, maybe of the next generation of roboticians. But also they can be used as an educational tool for teaching foreign language, math, physics, or even geography or history.
Space robots.
Space robots. First one. Using educational robots in school may open many questions, and here are some of the questions. Today there are a lot of robots in the school, but still we have absence of a well-defined curriculum and learning materials for teacher. We don't know, or teachers are scared what is their role in the whole process. Should robot replace the teachers, or robots are just a tool to help teachers to teach? We need to adapt robotic behavior and curricula to the learners and its age, gender, background, knowledge. Robots should be designed so that they are socially acceptable. We need to have a wider range of applications, like not just using in teaching informatics and computer science, but like using robots in art or music. Should the robot be a black box, white box, or black and white box? Black box means that we have robots and we just use it, or white box where we need to assemble the robot and then use it, or black and white means something in the middle. In my research, I do all of that. Should robots improve skills, and which skills? Of course, they should. They could improve creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, collaboration, teamwork, and I think especially this last one, work with hands, which is a little bit forgot these years in schools. And at the end, there is a lack of reliable experimental designs and quantitative research on how robotics can increase learning, achievement, and validation of the impact of robots. And in my research, I want to answer on some of these open questions using some quantitative research. So I want some numbers, so I can say robots are good in schools or robots are not good to have it in schools. Today, I will show you a little preview, very short, how can we use robots in schools. I use it in two different ways, teaching regular school subjects, like Croatian language, English, maybe even history or geography. And I will show you how to using robots in teaching robotics. So, first, using robots as an educational tool in a native language lesson. That means using robots in teaching Croatian language. Our goal, we made one pilot study, and our goal was to find activities that we want to find activities with educational robots that can be used in everyday lectures. So we have some conditions that the activities should fulfill. So activity should be manageable by only one teacher. The implementation needs to be easy, with minimal technical difficulties. It must follow the curriculum and gives additional knowledge to children after the lesson. And of course, children need to like it. So we choose one lesson in the 3rd grade of primary school. It was a lesson, one book report, lektira. Children had to read 2 stories from the book at home, from the book Božidar Prosenjak, Kako je Marko kupio sreću, and the other story was U 9 u krevet. And we prepared 2 activities with Lego Mindstorms robots, here. 2 activities were robot role play and robot race. And my students and I were in the classroom and worked with children for 2 hours. And our first activity was robot role play. So we prepared robots in advance, and we prepared short role plays, short scripts based on the stories that the children read before. At the beginning of the activity, pupils practice reading those scripts and practice acting. It was really funny. They tried to be actors. But the idea was to record voices of the children, and after that put those voices inside the robots, and the robots will play the story. So we recorded all pupils, all students, and after all recording was done, we all watched each play from each group of the students. So all children had some role in those plays. The second activity was robot race. You can see part of the activity, it's moving. You see cheering. It is a race, but everything is based on that stories. We divided children in 4 groups. Teacher read questions. Each question was yes-no question based on the story. Children had remote control in their hands, and they need to answer if the question was correct or wrong. If the answer of the children was correct, then the robot moved forward. If the answer was wrong, robot moved backward. Each child had 3 questions, and after that they give the remote control to the other child. So all kids tried something and need to answer to some questions. It was really fun to see all that cheering, and if somebody didn't know the answer, everybody will tell him what or she, to him or his, what, yes or no, yes or no. It was really teamwork in that classroom. After both activities, we made 2 analyses. First analysis was technical performance, and we saw that robot role play needs ideal conditions for voice recording. So each group had to go to the hallway to record their voices, because everything was, the robots were not loud enough. So it was really hard to record voices so children can hear it when the robots played. Further, we had some problems with motors. They were blocked occasionally, so it's too complicated to have that activity when you have only one teacher in the class. We have several assistants, so it was good in our case, but technical performance is not that good for this activity. The second activity, robot race or robot quiz, was easily done in just 10 minutes. It is manageable by one teacher, and we had no technical difficulties during the implementation. And that's the reason why we use it after that pilot study again, and probably we will use it again later. We made some data analysis. So we had pre and post test with children, so to see if there is any additional knowledge after the lessons. And you can see here that the results are not better after the lesson, because we have 2 kinds of questions. Okay, we have again yes-no question. In pre-test and in post-test, questions was almost the same with little change in it. And if the question was strictly from the stories, then all the results in the post-test are better. But if they need to think about it, then results are a little bit worse after the lesson. We can maybe change some activities during the class to get better results after it. We made a questionnaire to see satisfaction of the children during the class. And as you can see, they like the class a lot. And especially they like robot race, although they tested their knowledge during the whole race. And you can see that the worst activity was practice reading, and in the same time that was the only activity that was normal that they are doing every day in the school. So they liked everything else than normal activity. We also gave them 3 open-ended questions. What did you learn today? What did you especially like? And what would you do different? And in each question we have, let's say, 2 or 3 categories of the answers. What did you learn today? Most of them says that they learn a lot about robotics. They didn't do anything with robotics, and they didn't learn how to make or program robots, but just use it. But they learned how to put voices inside the robots. And the other part of the answers was very interesting because they said that today I learned that the book reports can be wonderful and fun. That means that normal Croatian language lesson or reading book are a little bit boring for children today. What did you especially like? Of course, competition with robots, although it's the same time quiz about the knowledge. And what would you do different? We saw that perfect class, of course, they liked robots, but we saw that acting part was the problem because of all technical difficulties. So based on the questionnaire, knowledge and everything, we find some conclusion. And we found out that both activities pupils liked. Both activities follows the curriculum. We had some added knowledge and that's all. But based on the technical performance, we find out that robot race is perfect activity to have it in normal class. It could be Croatian language, it could be maybe history or some other subject. This is pilot study. After that, we have several other studies on some other subject, and we will do something similar again in the future. The next part of my presentation is how to use robots as an educational tool in teaching robotics. And that means if we are talking about robotics, we are talking about mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, information engineering and computer science, because robotics is all of that. Not just programming, not just mechanical or putting bricks one on the other. So if we are talking about robotics, we are talking about all those 4 areas. So the goal of the project, this part of the project, is find optimal educational robot that can be used for teaching robotics for beginners, let's say in 2nd or in 5th grade. And now, if you are not sleepy, I would like to you to participate in this part of research, if you are willing, of course. Everything is under GDPR, no names and everything. I want to find which robot is perfect for beginners in learning robotics. I know that you are not beginners, but let's say I want to know what do you think, what would be best for the children. I will show you 9 different robots and explain for each robot how it could be, how could you assemble the robot, how could you program the robot, and after that, if you are willing, you can vote which robot is the best. Are you willing? Yeah? Okay. Thank you. When you make your decision, take into account that it is really important appearance of the robot. So all the robots today will look like cars. So we assemble all robots like cars, but some of them could be assembled like something else, humanoid or something else. So appearance is very important. Can we assemble it and reassemble it next week is also really important too. So we want some work with hands, so children could work with hands. It is important electronics. So do we have sensors and actuators? How is everything wired? Of course, we want to learn children programming, computer science. So it is important, is the programming environment good enough for the children? Or is it too complicated or too easy? Of course, we want minimal technical difficulties. If we have some difficulties, then children will be bored, they will go out and nothing good from that. And of course, what do you think? Will pupil like that robot? So, if you are willing, my first robot is Tinkerbot. This is one easy robot. It looks like this. Actually, I think that one battery doesn't work, so I cannot show you that one. It cannot be programmed using the computer. You can control it over the mobile phone on this image. And you can program it only this motor by moving it left or right. And it will remember how did you move it, and after that he will drive on that way. You can change its appearance, so you can remove some blocks and put it on some other part of the robot. So this one is the first one. The second robot is kublets. That one should work. This is the robot. It looks really easy, only it is made from the cubes. Now I have problem with the microphone. So I can make it in more parts. It is made from the cubes. Each element, each cube is something. Some of the cubes are actuators, some of the cubes are batteries, some of the cubes are sensors, and you can assemble it and it will work already. You don't need to program it. You can just assemble it and start it. If you want to change something in the program, you can program it in a Scratch-like programming environment. Today I will show you on the floor. A robot will be moved forward and backward. Maybe on this, maybe here, on this table. So it goes forward and backward, and it has some lights. This is the kublets. The next robot is Timio. This is Timio. It looks easy again. It is completely white, and all the sensors and actuators are inside the robot. We have a lot of infrared sensors, touch. We have several motors. We also have a hole here, so you can put a pencil inside and robot can plot something. You can use the Lego bricks and put it here and here to make it in different appearance. It is produced in EPFL, Lausanne, Switzerland. And the idea was to produce a cheaper robot that could be compatible with Lego. And it is pre-programmed in several ways based on the color. Each color is some other program. But you can also program it by yourself. You can use this specially visual programming that they built. You can use textual programming, and also you can use Scratch-like programming. So here is the program to go forward and backward. And so on. Next robot, M-bot. I have one pink, but there are also blue ones. When you bought it, you need to assemble it. It looks like a car, so it's not easy to make different looks of that robot. But you can make different programming, and you can put extra sensors or motors on it. You can program it using Scratch-like program language. Here it has some ultrasonic sensor and some others. And here's how it goes forward and backward. And make different colors at the same time. Okay, it won't go out. Okay. The next robot is Jimu. That robot, you can change its appearance. It can be different every time. It could look like human, it could look like car. It looks like Lego bricks, but the bricks are a bit smaller than Lego bricks. You can program it in Scratch-like, again, program language. But the problem with this robot is that you need to have a mobile phone because it doesn't have its own memory, so you need to control it using the phone. I mean, program that you build is on the phone, but I need to start the program from the phone. And you will see searching for Gmail, connecting, and Bluetooth established, go. So this is a, it should go forward and backward, but sometimes you go around. Okay, stop. This is Jimu. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 more. The next one is Lego. Oops. This is Lego robot. It is built for sumo, but you can use your old Lego bricks to build the robot with new additional component, big Lego brick, which one you can program. Here we have 3 different motors and several sensors like infrared, ultrasonic, touch or something else. You can programming. Here is the example in Lego program language, which is again visual for children, but you can also program it in whichever program language you want. So you can program it in Python, in C, MATLAB, or whatever else. It could have a lot of different program inside, so I just need to find the right one. In just a second. Here it is. Okay, tablecloth is not good for that robot. This is Lego. Next one is Fisher technique. This one is also, you can assemble it in many ways as you want. In the box there are a lot of small bricks that could be connected in the way that only, oops, one wheel is out. Okay. So you can build it in any way you want, but also there are a lot of different sensors like camera, ultrasonic, infrared, but also you can put any sensor you want that could be bought in the stores, you can put it in. The good thing is that here you need to use 2 wires to connect those sensors, so children can learn about electrical circuits, and you can learn about it without computers, so you can build electrical circuits just using elements from this set. And here is the program for forward and backward. This is Fisher technique. Skype. Australija zove. Da se javim? Halo. Piše mi da zvoni.
To je Skype. Na Skype.
Da, ali Pokušavam se pridružiti pozivu, ali mi... Halo? Se čujemo?
Čujemo se.
Stavljam vas na veliki ekran.
Samo da vidimo jel sve štima. Jel vi vidite manje? Cijelo društvo je ovdje, čujem.
Probat ću vas okrenut, da ih vidite.
Utrčal si na predavanje. Na predavanje si utrčal.
Kako je lijepo vidjeti.
Dok ti gledaš, mi idemo kremšnite, Miki.
Vi ste na kremšnji tamo dok sam ja na merlotu.
Okay, the next robot is Emoro. Emoro is Croatian robot. Did you hear about it? So it's Croatian robot. It's based on Arduino. So it looks like a car, but you can maybe 3D print some other parts and give it some other personality. You can put any sensor or any actuators you want because there are a lot of inputs and outputs. And now you can see how it moves. Arduino based. And again it moves forward and backward. More or less. Based on the table. Okay. And the last one. Because it's based on the Arduino, you can program it in C like Arduino program language. And today there are some Visualino or some other languages that could be used by smaller children.
Assembler?
No.
What?
Assembler. You can program it in assembler, I don't want to hear about it.
And my last robot is Stemi. It is not a car, it is a hexapod. It is again Croatian robot made by our ex-students. You can, when you buy it, you need to assemble it. It has 18 servo motors. You can program it in Arduino again. Or you can make application for your mobile phone and control the robot using that application. They have a lot of video materials to teach children how to make application for the mobile phone to control it. So now, again, backward and forward, but now with 6 legs and different colors on the robot. And of course you can 3D print and add some extra parts on the robot.
Can you add it without 3D printing?
Okay, maybe with hot glue.
Have some parts.
With hot glue or something like that, yes. So those are 9 robots. And at the end of this event you can put your votes which one is the best. And when you vote, take into account appearance, assembling, wiring, programming, minimal technical difficulties, and what do you think would pupils like it. So all these activities, all these project parts are also part of the science popularization program that we have at Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Computing. The name of the program is ŠUZA, From School to Science and Academic Community, iz škole u znanosti i akademsku zajednicu. And we have a lot of activities for STEM and of course fair popularization. So we have workshops for researchers and students. We have also one subject for our students that calls science popularization, popularizacija znanosti. We have workshops for teachers, like IEEE Teacher in Service program. We had a presentation at conference, Croatian Linux User Conference. We have some education with agency ASO and ASO. We have laboratory tours and workshops for groups of children from primary and high schools that come to our faculty. We have workshops with Lego, Arduino, little bits or some other robots that you saw today. We organize special events like European Code Week, Robotics Week, Arduino Day, Math Night, 1 hour of code. We participated in Science Festival. We had Museum Night, and here you can see Mac and Diva Ultra. We participated in Innovation Exhibition in Ivanić-Grad. This is European Researchers' Night. It is a Marie Curie European project that we participate. And here is the, it's so dark. This is Tesla Transform that produces lights and sound. Yeah. It was at European Square this last year. Then we have first Lego League competition at Fair. And if you are free, come to our next competition on January next year. The biggest event that we have is Open Doors Day. It is in the middle of November. And during that open day, you can see all research that all people from the fair is working on. Today we have almost 600 workers at the faculty, more than 3,500 students, which of them is 25% are girls. And the last part of my presentation is that I'm the president of Croatian Robotic Association, so I want to show you some activities that we are working at the association. Goal of the association is robotics popularization, and we have 16 clubs in the whole Croatia that are part of our association. We have a lot of different activities like workshops in all our cities, winter, spring and summer schools. We organize national and participate at international competitions. We give annual robotic awards. We have some very good library and archives, and we are part of some international association like European Talent Network. Last week was our spring school at Kraljevica. During the summer we have summer school at Hvar and in Ivanić-Grad. We still have several free spaces. If you know some child from 9 to 16 years old, we still have few free places. I teach there, so I recommend. We have a lot of different competitions. Some of them are traditional, like Robotička Alka and Robot Trka na prstenac, based on the Trka na prstenac in Istria or Sinjska Alka. So those activities are for younger children. We participate at RoboCup Junior competitions. It is one of the biggest robotics competition in the world. We participate in Rescue Line, Rescue Maze, and last year team from Croatia won first place in the world in that very big competition in Montreal. We have RoboSoccer category on stage. Last year our team won third place in super teams. This is not that team, this is some just to show you what children can do. You can see robot, Lego robot. If I took microphone, then you. So this robot is Lego from Lego bricks, and it was almost 1 meter high. And children build it, program it, and make some choreography to play with the robot. We have some virtual robots cost space. If you don't have money to buy a robot, you can make virtual robots. And this is also category in RoboCup Junior. Then we have sumo robots. we had it this year for the first time. It was very funny because all the robots are autonomous, so they need to find the other robots and stay inside the black line. The robot that is outside lost. So, but they are autonomous, so it's fun. It was questionable. You can see here the version, the better version that was on testing. So in better version, the one who lost is outside the ring on the floor because it was a little bit, it was 1 centimeter up on the floor. Then we have first Lego League. It is one big competition. In Croatia we have, let's say, 20 teams, but there is almost 100 countries in the world that organize this competition. And last week was our team at World Cup and in Houston, and they won Judge Award, Special Judge Award. And this is the movie from their robot. So it's really big and complicated robot. They have only 2.5 minutes to solve as many possible tasks on this table. And everything this year the team is into orbit, how to live in space. So they need to build a robot to solve some problems in the space, and also they need to solve some problem that is not based on the robots, but they need to find some problem in the space and solve it, like how to grow food, how to wash your hair when you are on space shuttle or something like that. This competition is, let's say, for primary school, and the competition for the high school is First Global Challenge. I was the mentor of the team. We were in Mexico last year. This is 3 high school students, and we were in quarterfinals among 161 countries. So let's say we are 13th in the world last year. So these robots are half meter big. And that is a very short presentation of what I'm doing. This is only a short part. I hope you like it, and if you want to know more about some of the parts, if you want to contribute somehow with your knowledge or something else, I'm here by my connections. Thank you.
Thank you for visiting us. It was my pleasure to, in the name of the organizer, to give you this flourish organization.
It is really nice.